It doesn't work.
No Android.
It's gonna be a challenge.
It's fine. Thank you.
It could be liberating, Regina.
I should have brought my charger. Thought we was going back. We didn't go back to the room.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine though.
How's the glamorous life treating you? The being a star of a big time movie, a New York Times film critic pick. Congratulations.
Yes. Thank you.
By the
Thank
way,
you.
Antonio. Okay, it was a joke question. So
I know. That's why I didn't answer it. That was like, okay, yeah, he's joking. Okay.
I am joking. Although, you'll have
Hopefully.
to just see what comes out of this, opportunities, Interesting.
But if nothing does, just know I don't give up.
Okay, no.
You will see me again.
That's something you share with your character. She doesn't, right? Your Regina character, that she doesn't come across as somebody who gives up so easily. She's dealt kind of a challenging hand, and yet she seems to always be there, ready with determination. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
I'm sloppy. I should have said. Let me because I didn't even introduce you, but that's typical. That's typical.
We still starting. Hey, I'm Regina Williams from the movie
Regina.
Life and Nothing More.
Good. Well done. That is correct. You are Regina Williams.
Yes,
And
I'm Antonio Méndez. I'm the
Méndez.
director for the film.
Antonio Méndez Esparza.
Yes.
I have it's Catalan. Is that what?
It's really Basque.
Basque.
Navarro,
Oh,
like Navarran. So it's from the north of Spain. Yes.
Yeah. Are you learning, Regina? Are you learning any Spanish?
I tried.
You are trying.
Yes, they taught me a lot of words.
Mm-hmm. On the surface of things, and this film also, I responded so much to it because it dispels a lot of the way people think about things on the surface. I appreciated that. You have here a Spanish or Basque filmmaker and an American actor, a non-professional actor actually in this case, right? Coming from very different experiences in different parts of the world and have made something beautiful together. What were the odds of that happening? Because this is about a small town in Florida, right? And I just don't imagine you have a whole lot of experience in that part of the world, right? That's right.
I didn't, but because I think one of the things you mentioned is in a sort of luck and hazard. 5 years ago, life took me to Tallahassee to live, and I started teaching there.
Oh, very good.
So that's my hometown. Actually, my youngest child was born there.
Okay.
So in a way, home now is Tallahassee for me.
How far is Tallahassee from the town where this film takes place, which is called what again?
It's all takes place in Tallahassee.
No,
it's like a suburb of Tallahassee, or like a part of the
really,
greater Tallahassee area.
It's a small city, Tallahassee, so it's a neighborhood in Tallahassee.
Oh, it is, okay.
And then we shot a little bit of scenes, like the diner is in Lee County.
Leon.
There's
the town.
Lee, Florida. There is Leon County, which is, and then Lee,
okay.
Florida, which is like 45 minutes away.
Okay.
Then there is, a few scenes in Thomasville we shot. The police scenes. So we made the fictional Tallahassee, but really the main location per se is Tallahassee.
Okay, very good. So you actually do. Now, how long have you been teaching there?
5 years now.
5 years. Film?
Film, and actually, my students were key, and the film school where I teach were key in us being able to make this film.
Oh, they were involved, of course. There you got. It was a smart budget line item taken care of. So I just hop on here because I'm guessing and fudging it. But you came up with the idea for the film, and then did you have the story about this woman who was going to be a single parent? Well, a parent, but whose husband is in prison. The story is that Regina was accompanying her sister to this audition. Is that right? Mm-hmm. And then.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, that's right.
I will engage you.
I be reading.
She's reading.
I'm sorry.
She's looking at the poster.
Sorry.
But you were accompanied. You tell me. You accompanied your sister.
I did.
How did you know? How did you find it? How did she find it? Was she one like a burgeoning actress? Or
no,
she just going for a lark.
So Antonio had his crew, and they were auditioning. And one, I guess he was on break. I'm not sure, but he ended up at her job, and she worked in the supermarket. And he ran across her one day, and he was like, "You should come to our audition." And my sister, she's just lovely, bubbly, the marriage, she goofy. She was like, "I guess I'll go,"
Yeah.
But at least that's what she told me.
Okay.
So, she called me. She's like, "Well, I got an audition to, go to." She didn't invite me or anything. No,
she didn't even invite you. Okay.
No, I usually work on the weekends, so she know I couldn't come.
Oh, okay.
This particular day,
yeah,
I was off, and I'm never off on the weekends. Never. I was like, you know what? I'm off on a Saturday. I have nothing to do. I'm gonna go with you. Now, my thing was to motivate her, and they could tell you, everybody that I was in there pushing for her to...
Yeah, right.
Didn't work. She laughed every time. Every time they gave her the script.
Oh, she started
She tried, but she laughed in their face. So
that was like a nervousness, though,
right. So we left. We left. We were on our way out to bed, and we were almost there, and one of the guys came behind us. His name, it was...
Jeremiah, no?
Jeremiah. He was like, "Why don't you come and you audition for us?" And I was like, "No."
Why did he just sense that? Why do you think he asked you?
Probably because I was in there pushing her, and I'm talking about we on the side, we at the library, we got to keep it down. But I'm getting mad with her because I'm like, "You married, you know how to get mad and just stay mad for a minute." I can't do it. She just busts out laughing at every script she had. At every script she laughed. So. He had more people in line though. He had a line of like maybe 10, 15 people. So I'm not getting in that line. That's what I told him. I'm not getting in that line. No, we finna go. And he was like, "No, you come straight back." And I went in and auditioned. I did not get the part right then. No, I left. But I got a call back.
But you got to. Well, they don't normally just. It may be something that you see maybe in a movie where somebody actually gets you got the part. No, that usually doesn't happen.
No, so I got a call back.
They have to kind of talk about it, and and they'll say, "That Regina girl, she's got something going on. She's got something." Did once you got the call back, and then ultimately, of course, you were cast as the main character in the film. What did your sister think? Was she pissed off?
She's excited. Even now.
She was glad.
Yeah.
Oh, she didn't feel jealous.
No,
or
I have children, and she actually watch them for me. Like, go. No, we're sisters, like the real sisters. Ain't no hatred. What you do is your problem. What I do is my problem. She's there for support, just like I am for her in any circumstance. Okay. Yeah. Okay. If I was to make it, she knows she win. If she was to make it, likewise. So,
film-wise, though, how much exposure have you had to like this type of film, which would we just categorize kind of in this an art film? None. No.
I have more of an imagination and but no actual experience. No.
Yeah, but you go to movies with the friends and that kind of thing. Typical thing, right? Go to the mall. It's because this is a film that would it play in even would there be an audience? There's no little advertising, but maybe there would in Tallahassee because it takes place there.
I think I'm always hopeful. No, I think we always make these films.
Why would it not play?
Well, because it's mostly big films, like Halloween, or so they don't have room for these smaller films. Yeah. But I'm always hopeful. So so we'll I guess we'll have to see.
Yeah, for sure. We can make sure that they find out about all the sold out crowds here at Film Forum, right? And that maybe that'll help too. Is it? By the way, is it going to be playing at any other theaters other than Film Forum?
In New York?
Starting this week?
Yes. It's opening in LA and in San Francisco also. But in New York, I think it's only playing in Film Forum. Okay. Are you going to go? Are you going to go and do some Q&As out there?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Of course. Your public awaits you, right? I mean, Regina, you're like nothing like the character at
no,
I was not sure.
I'm not.
So it because you were acting.
Right.
Right. How different is Regina, the woman in the film, Life and Nothing More? How different is she than you? And very different.
Yeah, a lot of people take me as a cusser, disrespectful, I guess. Dumb, maybe.
Did you think Regina was disrespectful though?
No, I think she was real. She's a realist.
Right. No bullshit.
But the real me, and I'm still like that in real life. I'm still like that, but I'm more articulate. I'm more smart. I get to the depth of things.
Okay.
So I may allow situations to go on that make maybe a little different or maybe wishy-washy, but I may understand it and just, But yeah, I'm totally different from my character. I'm a realist.
So was it that you guys... Okay, so just so people listening understand, Regina is a mother who's raising, for the most part, 2 children. A son who is very much in a vulnerable spot. He's in a rebellious mode, understandably, and she is desperately trying to keep him from falling into that abyss, the pipeline, as it were. Right? And then, and it's difficult because, right, the dad is in jail, and the culture would have it that he would fall into line as well, and right? That's what happens to brown young men.
Statistics, yeah.
Yeah. So she's doing her best, and so her thing is tough love, which seems like to come naturally for her. Like, she's tough, so... And you get through her relationships and her getting to know her that she's probably taken a couple of punches from life because she's very defensive. That's.
You talking about the character or real life? This is what I'm trying to get at.
Talking about the character. Okay. I don't know.
You watched the movie?
I did. Yeah. Why? Does it appear that I didn't?
No, I just had a interview. They didn't watch it yet, but they had a lot of questions, so I'm asking. Did you watch the movie?
Yeah, no, I saw it twice actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I watched it again today.
I love him. He watched the movie, y'all.
I watched it a couple months ago, and then realizing that I was like, oh my goodness, I better watch the trailer, and then I'm like, wait a minute, I think I have the link to the film, and then I start watching it again just to refresh, but I got into it like on a whole new level again.
Well, see, so that makes sense, man. A lot of people, they have a lot of questions and they haven't watched it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't ever get that, but what do I know?
Right.
Maybe I'm doing something wrong.
No, you're doing the right thing. Okay. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, I know it. Well, they are, those who aren't watching it are at a cheating themselves out of a great experience. The language around the film is that it's kind of, Antonio, it's sort of inspired, at least in part, by films of neorealism. Is that true, or did you have those kind of the forefathers?
Yeah, it's very much true. No, I had a brief article that spoke about the hope of what neorealism could be in a way of not even having a story and just watching, and not even having a plot, and you're shooting life in a way. Of course, in this film is a little bit different because the actors are always performing. No, they are always acting. They are always performing. So. Life becomes, in a way, a creation that it's artificial, right? All the life you see in the film is artificial, but there is a beauty in that creation, no? There is a grace that hopefully we try to find in the film. So they were an inspiration, and they have always been. In a sense, even though the movie has plot, but I try to make a movie without plot. Of course, at some point, always the plot becomes important and becomes key, and you cannot escape the plot easily. But I try to resist it as much as possible.
Yeah.
Not without ideas, not saying a movie without an idea or without a focus or without themes, but where plot is perhaps not as important. No, yeah.
So how did you guys talk about Regina and arrive at who she is? She's such a strong character. At the same time, I should mention, I didn't read a lot about the film before getting sent, the film, so I really had knew nothing about it, and I was starting to watch. I thought it was a documentary. This I know you get a lot, so I'm not like the only one, but I could see very soon. This is not a documentary. But how did you achieve this such a documentary feel to it, a real life approach to it? So that's how.
What did you say?
How did you guys?
I was working with.
What were those early conversations like?
I would say how
Antonio.
She's
I think
so
it was
strong.
him. Antonio. He was the man behind the, the shades behind the film. So we would act out, script or scenario or whatever, and we'd do it in different ways, various ways. But I would just do my job. I would act. I was not the vision behind it. I think it was this man right here. So,
Yeah.
But
okay.
whatever it is that he wanted out of the film, I was there to,
Yeah.
deliver. pretty
Well,
much.
that's
that's how it was.
that's not such a small
Yes.
thing.
No, because it's
She-
for me what it was very much it's she says it's my vision kept changing in a way, and it was
For the film,
correct.
not the character. Mhm.
Well, and the character even, what do I know about this woman, right? So it will always be a conversation. For example,
Okay.
what do you make for lunch? How do you enter the house? Where do you leave the keys? What do you do with your daughter when you are in the bathroom? All these things. So in a way, I don't write the screenplay; they write it. So it's a much more full collaboration.
Yes.
And then one of the big questions that she had, and that even I had is, who is this woman? Or in terms of Andrew, who am I? Who is this kid? And I think we try to construct a character as the movies we are making it. We shot as much as possible in order, and of course she had to be a mother or a woman that was a little bit at fault with, or at least she feels she's at fault with whatever is happening with Andrew. That was important.
Andrew is the son.
Yes, that was important, and we maneuver, and of course there are scenes where I think when Regina says I was acting, is we had to find the sort of balance as to how much upset can I be with Andrew, no?
Mhm.
How do I slap him? Do I curse him 50 times? Do I curse him once?
All the above.
Well, do I talk to him good also? 'Cause
Correct,
I did
or-
that
or-
also, but none of that is in the
Correct.
movie.
Yes,
What's
or-
that?
I don't. Yeah.
What was that? Say that
Putting
again.
it out there. Do I talk nice to him
Oh.
also?
Oh yeah, but you left out all those the sentimental.
Yeah.
Yes.
All of that is out of it. So I just don't want that to be, thought of as realistic. It's a movie.
Yeah, sure.
Well, it's
That's it. But there are real some
Sweet.
in the movie,
Mhm.
like prayers and all that other stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are many things that you try. For example, the prayer moment, which was a very, at some point when Andrew, there is a big problem, and of course, there was a scene that we shot that in the moment we were shooting, it becomes very truthful,
Mhm.
but then it doesn't
All of
play
it is
in the
truthful.
it doesn't play in the context of the film.
Oh,
You're right.
When you're editing, suddenly it feels like it's not necessary. So you're always trying to squeeze every single scene.
yeah.
But then there was one moment that I often show to my students, which we're trying to cut the opening of the film. And the opening of the film we shot in order, and Regina and Andrew are in front of the judge, and it's it's a scene that we can only shoot 5 times, 6 times. Every take is like 20 minutes. The judge is doing his thing. Everyone. So it's very procedural, and I cannot actually direct him much because I'm trying just to create this sort of canvas where the judge is delivering his speech, and the lawyers and the district attorney and the counselors. So I don't interrupt. I let it play as a real case. No? And then in this scene, there is one moment at the end of this sort of long improvisation where I don't know what's going to happen, that the judge asks Andrew, what do you want to be in life? That I never, the actors had no script. They improvised every single scene. And then Andrew comes and says, has something very deep and very personal and very like a piercing thought in terms of how disappointed he is about his future. And this is the first day of shooting, and I was like utterly touched by this sincerity. It's not in the film, and it's not in the film because even though it was a beautiful that he never repeated, that was the only scene, only take that he said that. Because in the end, perhaps it's not the story, and I think when you ask how much of Regina is of her in the movie, I think in a way you react towards this character who at the beginning is very, how to say, very negative. Not very. She's not actually very negative, but she has a side where she's not so. She's at fault a little bit with for reasons, whatever. But I think that's what she's react. But that's the journey of the character. That's why I think Regina.
Well,
They had it.
Well, mission really accomplished because there's I don't remember.
Right.
There's really no false moments.
I
don't think there's any false moments in your performance.
They were, and I think you should talk a bit about how tough it was for you because I think that would be. Anyway, it was very tough for you, no?
Mm-hmm.
You see, going through this experience of playing this character.
It was.
Is that what he means? Is that what he means?
Well, I guess not sure.
What was the hardest? Let's rephrase it. What was the hardest part of making the film?
It wasn't hard. It was a little stressful, going to work, and I have a life also. But it wasn't hard. The most dramatic is the crying scene, though, because I'm not a person that like to cry. So that was the hardest scene for me to do. Because I didn't want to do it. It was easy to do, but I didn't want to do it, basically.
Because it makes you
it took me into
scary.
my emotions. I don't like doing that.
Yeah.
No.
Also, you don't know where you're going to go if you start letting it out.
Right. I don't do that. I keep moving. One step, one foot after the other, one day after day. You have no choice but to come your way. I don't stop. But
it's common. Something in common with
they didn't really know the end of the film, what was going to happen.
Yeah.
We shot in order, and nobody knew the script. And what was very hard is just to demand, I said, this for me as a director, the absolute belief in the present without knowing what's going to happen next, and her even not knowing what's going to happen today on set, So at some point she would arrive on set and that was not going to happen, but she didn't know if the next scene I was going to tell her, now Andrew has been kidnapped by aliens,
right.
Yes.
And I get there and I'm where do I start?
So in that sense, and I want to insist on this idea is that her and all the actors sort of utter commitment to the present and to being in the scene is their merit. And it's their merit, and I also push to that. So there are scenes where we shoot 25 takes, 30 takes. So it didn't just happen. It was like always paying attention to a particular moment. And in that sense, I say it was very hard because she had to be very vulnerable. She had to be very, very... It's not things that we just... she had to be in the scene. And without training, she had to be able to... reach that, which was amazing. I was amazed by my by the daringness, but I was amazed by how they were able to be there at that time. But it was a lot of it was a lot of push. It was not from themselves, to find that, like the scene that she says she was crying. So I said this in a couple of interviews. We shot like 25 takes, 26 takes, and she was not crying. And I had, I said, this is too much. Why ask for her to cry? Maybe we don't need her to cry. It's okay. Just give it up. But I was disappointed. I wasn't so happy. But I was ready to move on. But she knew that the character had to cry. So we had moved. Next scene, I will do what I can. She stayed in the room, and she comes after me and tags my shit like, come now, I'm ready. That's amazing.
Everybody want to leave me. They won't leave me alone.
But we
give me a moment to gather all this and these emotions and put it out there.
Yeah.
So she made that. The actors made all those leaps by themselves, which is incredible.
Well, the name of the film again is Life and Nothing More, and it's directed by Antonio Méndez Esparza, and Regina Williams is the actor in the central role of the film. It plays Regina. And it's going to be at the Film Forum for, it looks like, a 2-week run.
Correct.
Starting today. It's actually screening right now.
Yes, I think so.
As we speak.
I think so. We are above the screening room.
Yeah, so this will I'll be playing it overnight. But when I saw the film, I said I would love to do a segment on the podcast. But I said it's all contingent. I have to have Regina.
Yeah, of course.
I said that.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. But you're always welcome back on, with or without, of course. Now, but if you can bring you, I'll be happy to.
You gotta welcome me for my next movie or my next big thing.
You bet. No, that I thought was a done deal. That's for sure. I absolutely would look forward to that. yeah, people should go and make sure to check it out.
I think in LA is playing. I don't want to say it wrong.
Okay,
so it's
no,
the
don't say that. I can
Santa Monica Film Center.
Oh, the Laemmle Monica's.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, I
Yes.
know it. Okay, so.
And it's playing also in Alamo Drafthouse in San Francisco and San
Oh, okay.
Rafael
Okay.
Center, and I think in Oakland.
Great. Well, thank you guys very much, and have a great, time meeting everybody and at your Q&As.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me and Antonio and Life and Nothing More.
Yes, thank you.
My pleasure.